Welcome, everyone, back to my channel. This is your first time here. Welcome to my channel. I am Liam, and we are talking about a story within this book of his last bow, and it's called The Adventure of the Dying Detective. So I don't see how much of a venture it is. You'll understand. It's by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Author. Anyways, series is Sherlock Holmes. Summer is Sherlock Holmes is falling ill with a mysterious disease and refusing to let his friend Dr. Watson help him. That's really well it is. So Mrs. Hudson rushes to the Watsons because Sherlock has not left his bed nor ate anything in 3 days, and she was worried about him. He was pallid looking, and he acted like he was sick, and he wasn't anything like his normal eccentric self. So Dr. Watson, of course, his loyal assistant at this point in time in this story, he's actually living with his wife, rushes over to 221B Baker Street to find out what's wrong with his friend Sherlock Holmes. He's also the narrator. Sherlock Holmes, of course, is lying in bed, and he prevents Watson from getting close to him because Watson is a very good doctor, so he knows Watson will find out that he's playing a trick. But you don't know he's playing a trick either, and it's a little tricky on that part. You find out that a guy named Culverton Smith had murdered somebody called Victor Savage, and Sherlock Holmes had investigated this. So he was trying to get rid of Sherlock Holmes and gave him something with a powder in it that ended someone's life in 4 days. So Sherlock Holmes goes, "Get me Culverton Smith. Tell him I am dying." And so Dr. Watson does, and when he brings him, Culverton Smith, of course, at first trying to have his butler Staples turn him away, appears, because when Sherlock's name is mentioned, he's like, "Oh, Sherlock's, let me go." So he's like, Watson comes back before him, hides, and Culverton comes along, and Culverton admits to murdering Victor Savage, and then admits to attempting to murder Sherlock Holmes. And then Sherlock Holmes, like, "Would you turn that off?" And so he does, and then Inspector Morton comes in, because it's turning up the flames on a gas lamp or something. I don't know what kind of lighting system it is. Comes, because that's a signal, so he comes along, and he's like, "Culverton just confessed to this, and he's attempted to murder me, and I'm not really sick." So he jumps out of bed going, "I'm not really sick, but I haven't really eaten in 3 days, nor gone on my bed in 3 days. So I didn't really need to do that," because he was method acting, but he was also at the same time making it seem like he wasn't method acting at all, because he literally didn't eat or do anything. And he also put makeup on his face, make him more look sick and tired and everything. Make him more look like he was dying from a disease. Which tricked Watson, because Watson couldn't get close. My favorite character was Charlotte, because who knew his acting was so good? It tricked me. I thought he was dying, and I was like, wait, I thought he died in something else. In some other book, in some other story, and not this one, but he wasn't. He was faking it. My most disliked character was Culverton, because how dare you try to end our special? Sherlock is our special. He's our special, smart, socially inept boy, and how dare you try to kill him? What stood out as memorable? Sherlock Holmes knew that Watson would notice upon getting up close to him that he wasn't sick at all. He had to ensure Watson did not get close to him and spot his lie. That stuck out to me first. Because in the beginning, he's like, "No, I don't trust your medical abilities." It kind of hurt Watson's feelings, too. But that was a lie, which I'm glad for. My favorite passage from the story is, "Never had I had such a shock. In an instant, with a tiger spring, the dying man had intercepted me. I heard the sharp snap of a twisted key. The next moment, he had staggered back to his bed, exhausted and panting after his one tremendous outflame of energy." So Watson was about to leave to go get a doctor, and Sherlock stopped him because he didn't want that doctor to come. He wanted Culverton to come, and that was the only way to do it. Of course, Watson picked up a little box that actually was supposed to poison Sherlock, but didn't, because Sherlock is very testy about things that come to him. And he likes to inspect them before he even opens them. And he noticed what was happening to it, and he's like, "No, don't do that." So I like how, even though he's ill, in the sense that he made himself ill from not eating for 3 days, he had enough energy to go and lock Watson in just so his plan could go through. My favorite quote: "Can you ask, my dear Watson, do you imagine that I have no respect for your medical talent? I fancy that your astute judgment would pass a dying man who, however weak, had no rise of pulse or temperature. At 4 yards, I could deceive you. If I failed to do that, who would bring my Smith within my grasp?" Of course, he's talking about the fact that he had to keep Watson at a distance so that way Watson wouldn't spot the lie that was, "Yes, I am not dying." So that way he could bring Smith, because he had to convince Watson that he was dying and that Smith needed to come immediately. Cloverton needed to come immediately. What a thought about the end of the book. Cloverton confessed to his own crime and got arrested for trying to off our special. You can't do that. I am glad Sherlock Holmes was not actually dying, because I thought he was supposed to die somewhere else, or fake die. I don't know. I haven't gotten there. One day I will. I know the general story. I know generally what happens, but I am waiting. Okay? Waiting for it to be read or listened to, as I've been doing. Poor Watson in his heart. He literally thought Sherlock was dying, and then he was so relieved when he realized Sherlock wasn't dying. Like, whiplash? What book/story did it remind me of? The other Sherlock Holmes stories in Detective Conan manga. The book, as you know, is part of a series called Sherlock Holmes with over 60 stories. I rated this a 3.5 because Sherlock's acting had me believing for a few pages that he was dying. Like, seriously. So, if you think I deserve a like, comment, or even your lovely subscription, drop it down below. I will see you next illusion.